Hey there, welcome to day 1746 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey, the business journey primarily, as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world, and then back and forth again. As I work with different businesses, mine and other people's, to help them grow and build and supersize their business in ways that make the world a better place, in ways that make them feel good about what they're doing, what they're achieving, the lives that they're impacting, and the way that they're showing up in the world. Part of that is we do an annual challenge, and this year's annual challenge is the Be You 365-Day Challenge, to do one thing every day that improves us. I set it up this year and to coincide with a 9-part life framework that I use to kind of add structure and some sense of order in all the chaos that is all of our lives, right? And it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, confidence, and communication. Those are the 9 areas that I set my goals in, my long-term legacy goals, the things that I'm working toward. And then I break them down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces so that I know that I can do something every day. And then I take those things that I'm doing every day and I automate them to get the results I want in different milestones along the way to my bigger goals. So I know that automatically I'm doing things to move me toward what I want. And is every day 100% successful? No, right? It's life. It ebbs and flows. We have lessons learned. Failures are little stepping stones. And I, like everybody else, I mess up some days and I fail some days. Some days I don't show up 100% like I wish I was showing up already. And that's part of becoming a better version of myself each and every day. But doesn't mean every day I'm awesome, right? It means some days are better than others, just like all of us, right? Right now we have RSV going through the household. I guess I started it, and there was a little concern that it was COVID, but it's not. It's RSV, which is another whole big thing that's going around in the United States right now anyway. And we are set to travel on Monday, going down to my nephew's wedding, and then I've got a bunch of other travel things associated around that event. So I'm going to be gone probably 3 weeks to a month, I'm thinking. And that means I need to get ready for that. But since we've all been sick this week, and I'm pretty much coming out of it, everybody else is a few days behind me. Not much has gotten done with respect to prepping for that trip, as in I made a list of what I need to pack, but I haven't even started rounding anything up yet. So that means this weekend's going to be focused on pulling the stuff together that I need. Number one, so that I can continue to do the things that I do every day, serve the people I serve every day, show up on my videos every day. Not sure where they're going to be. They won't have this awesome background, though, for a while. We'll be in different locations, different places. And I'll see if I can create some consistency with that. But there's no guarantee, because life is unpredictable. Life is messy. Life is what it is. And it's how we respond and react to it that matters most. And that was the topic of today's annual challenge. We're doing No Nonsense November. I think this is the 3rd time I've done No Nonsense November, where every day in the month of November I share one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my many years of experience, my many decades here on the planet. And it may or may not be something you can relate to. Maybe you have no challenges with the way you react and respond to things. Me, yesterday proved to me that I still have challenges in that area, and I need to continue to work through becoming a better responder and reactor to things that trigger me, right? And usually those are significant emotional topics, right? If it involves my kids or my grandkids, it's more likely to trigger me than if it involves something in the media or something in the news. Although sometimes those things trigger me too, because I, like everyone else, am human. So talked about and shared 11 different ways, and we've covered all of those in this past year throughout the annual challenge at least a couple of times, but we reviewed them again. What are 11 different ways that we can deal with how we automatically, emotionally, or feel about things, right? There's many things that happen outside and inside of us that we react and respond to. And most of our reactions and responses are automatic, right? They're triggered. Something happens, triggers a reaction or response from us. But we can short circuit that or slow that process of reaction down by doing, some or one or any of these 11 things. So we talked about those today. Our topic for Supersize Your Business, our idiom to go along with that, was think on your feet. And I just talked a little bit about, it's only been around since the 1900s. So it's a relatively new idiom with respect, or in terms of idioms. We talked about what does it mean? Where does it come from? We didn't really know or talk about where it came from. They think it came from people that speak for a living, or people that would speak in front of audiences. I thought in the middle of it, comedians, because they're a perfect example of somebody that needs to think on their feet, because they're often faced with hecklers or people that shout out comments during their performance. Most plays and more formal things, people don't just scream out or ask questions during, I think TED Talks are speeches, right? In speeches, people don't usually ask questions. Sometimes there's a question and answer period afterwards, which is a great opportunity for leaders to demonstrate their ability to think on their feet. So we talked about that. And I guess that has to do with how do we respond? How do we react under pressure? I think of being in job interviews, right? How well do you think on your feet is definitely going to come into play when you're being interviewed, when you're being questioned, when you're being interviewed for anything, right? An article or for media or for a job. And a lot of us have had opportunities to think on our feet in those situations. Or if we've ever been leaders of anything, our families included, then we have to be able to think on our feet, right? Because things come up, questions come up, and we have to be able to make decisions. We talked about our decision-making muscle, and that by making little decisions, it helps us to make the bigger decisions, the more important decisions, and it helps to improve our ability to think on our feet. If we're good decision makers, that helps us to be able to think on our feet and demonstrate to people that we can lead and can show them and can make choices and decisions given changing circumstances and developments. So I'm going to go off and start packing. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.